Hello there, I'm Scotty, and you're not. And welcome back, finally. Oh, Rockcast! No, finally, I am back to finishing up the Pick 10 2000. So, I forgot to, hold on. I hate getting up, I do. Here. So, originally, if you're wondering, hey, why are you reviewing this movie? Well, I did do a short, but I'll explain it here. So, originally, I picked out Drumline. There is a problem. There's a problem uh, with this. It's not a bad movie. It's just so. I'm a fan of Nick Cannon. Grew up with Nickelodeon, Nick Cannon show, all that stuff. When this came out, I was like, oh, he's in a movie. He's starring in a movie. One of three he would star in. Love Don't Cost a Thing. And then Underclassmen. I know he was in like Roll Bounce, some other ones, but it was cool. And this movie it's a drama. And it's like, there's not much to it. I rented this twice. I rented it once, couldn't get through all the way, and then I gave it another chance and rented it like a couple of months later. Still couldn't give it a chance. So I was at the pawn shop, thought, hey, it's like $2-3 at the pawn shop. I'll buy it. Once again, tried watching it, couldn't get through it. And so this is my next one. I'm finally gonna watch it. I have picked this up twice now. I picked it up and I said on the Blu-ray player, I said, you're gonna do this. Did other things. I'm like, okay, this has been sitting here and I put it with the other, when I was rearranging things, I put it with the rest of the stuff so I didn't forget it. Like, okay, I took it out, put it on the Blu-ray player once again. Said, you're going to watch and review this. Still didn't do it. So today, I'm going through stuff after doing my trailer reaction video. And I'm like, you know what? I need to get this done. But this is what's stalling me. So, looking through my movies, I was actually looking for the movies for my theme month for August, which I will reveal at the end of this video, by the way. I found 17 again. I said, you know what? This will be a better one than Drumline. So I swapped it out. So Drumline, out. 17 again, in. With which this movie was to watch. I actually went to see this in the theater when it came out. Which any movie past 2020, I'm not able to say that. But I did because High School Musical came out the year I graduated from high school. Like later that year, September of that year, I think it was. So it was all over the place. I actually got into the music before I got into the movie. I bought the CD from Target for some reason, and I was listening to it. And I was like, this is good. I'll start watching the movies, and I got into them. Even though I was a grown-ass man by this point, because 2006 I was 19. But you know what? You do what you want, right? And then this came out. This was Zac Efron's first big role after High School Musical. So it was big. And if you take a look at this, I didn't think of this at first. So Zac Efron's in this movie. That's Disney Channel old. But also in this movie is Sterling Knight, who would go on to be, this same year, in Sunny with a Chance. Disney Channel of the new Disney Channel. You'd be on there. You'd be in Disney Channel original movie. Starstruck, just another good one. But yeah, and this has some stars in it. You have Zac Efron, right, playing Mike O'Donnell / Mark Gold. We'll get to that. Leslie Mann plays his wife. Then we'll get to that. We'll get to that. His best friend is played by Thomas Lennon, who is, Reno 911. He's been a bunch of other things. I think he's funny. Michelle Trachtenberg plays his daughter, and Sterling Knight plays his son. If you're confused, well, it's 17 again. The older Mike O'Donnell is played by Chandler Bing himself, Matthew Perry. story of this film, and this is what drew me into the film when I saw that commercials for it when it came out. Michael O'Donnell is a man whose marriage and family life has not worked out. When he was a teenager, when he was 17, he found out his girlfriend was pregnant, and he gave up his hopes and dreams in basketball and future for her, for this baby. And now, 17 years later, I'm assuming Maggie is 17, the daughter is 17, I'm assuming. 17 years later, they're in the midst of getting a divorce, and it's not looking good. But one night while driving home, he sees this janitor guy in the river. He saves him, and the janitor grants him a wish. So the next morning he wakes up. He's a teenager again, and he decides that he was because his best friend Ned is the geekiest of all geeks. Tells him that he was changed back to being 17 for a reason. So he thinks it's so he could relive his high school glory. And there it is. And so he decides to start living his glory. But while trying to do that, masquerading as Mark Gold, Ned's son, who just so happens to look like Mike. But along the way, he starts to realize that family keeps getting in the way. His son Alex needs help with the basketball team. His daughter is dating this jackass of a bully type character, which, okay, whether you're this girl with an attitude or not, you wouldn't date someone who's relentlessly picking on your brother. I'm sorry. That would never happen. You would not be, like, the way that she acts and stuff, sure, but, like, she doesn't hate her brother or anything. But she allows her boyfriend to pick on her brother. He's, like, super glued or duct taped to I think it's duct taped to a toilet. I don't know. It wouldn't happen that way. I don't know. You think the mom would get wind of it or something? I don't know. Nicole Sullivan is in here for a cameo or a side role, I guess you'd say. She doesn't do much. She's just there to have those sarcastic things that Nicole Sullivan does. She's in a couple scenes, and that's it. There's some weirdness with the whole, like, he's still obviously I think for his wife, and then she's all touchy-feely. You look like my husband, which, they never try to explain why he looks like Mike when he was younger, but he's Mark's son. Or Ned's son. It's like, oh well, actually, he's not actually Ned's son. Ned used Mike's DNA. Like, oh, he's like, oh, my mom got knocked up, whatever. But his last name is still Gold. Couldn't say that Ned cloned Mike as a teenager so he could have a son, so he could be a father. Wouldn't that make more sense? Or cloning technology doesn't exist, but come on. It's Ned. He could have a cloning thing. Who knows? I'm just saying. Or you could say that he knocked up someone with Mike's DNA and his DNA, and it looked more like Mike. I don't know. Just something. But through this, he starts to kind of connect, at least with his son. Although the daughter is hesitant. He's trying to protect her, and eventually that makes her think that he likes her in that way. And then they have the whole thing where, like, he kisses his ex-wife, but he's the kid. And I know it's weird, right? Because he's supposed to be 17. But Zac Efron was like 20 by this point. So, I'm just saying. I think he was older than 20, actually. These came out the year after. It's 2009, so it came out the year after High School Musical 3. So he was relatively new to being out of Disney. Disney has that thing where they hold you so tightly to the image they want you to have that you don't get to be yourself. So then when you come out and you start acting like wild and different, people think, oh, that's not like them. But you don't know that because Disney made them act and look the way they wanted to. Like, everybody freaked out when Miley Cyrus started acting the way like that. Maybe that's the real her. Same thing with Vanessa Hudgens or Demi Lovato. They're like, oh my God, it's so drastic when they used to be. It's because Disney was forcing them to act that way. It wasn't them. They weren't being themselves. I know some of people like Zendaya or, people like that. They have more wholesome images, but still, Disney forces them to act all prim and proper and nice and not like themselves. And that's what the problem happens, is when they leave, then they can be who they want to be. People flip out thinking, oh my God, that's not what we are. No, because Disney forced them to be something they're not. And that's the problem. Zac Efron, I think, is like the least of this. Like, he's had the least problems with Disney stuff going on when he compared to like Selena Gomez and Demi Lovato and Miley Cyrus especially. I'm just saying. But I thought that this is a pretty good story. It's one of those stories, one of those like moral stories where it's like he thinks he's got to do one thing, but he realizes that it's one of those things. If I had to do it all again, I wouldn't have given it up. But then he gives it up. But it's not one of those things where he says, no, you have to give it up, you have to give it up. He figures it out at the end himself. He's not told what he has to do. He figures it out. And I like that. Because at the beginning of the movie, he finds out that she's pregnant. He contemplates. And then he gives up the ball. And in the end, he tells her that, because they're at this party, and he kisses her, and she's like, no, that's not right. And he tries to tell her, I'm your husband, it's me. And she flips out. And then Maggie sees it, and she's like, oh, you want to get to my mom, or whatever, and flips out. And then he goes to the divorce court hearing, and he puts out the speech that he claims Mike gave to them to say. And then when she looks at the paper, it's empty. She starts to realize there might be something. And then, at the basketball game, when they get ready to play, he does the thing. And that's when she realizes, oh my God, it's him. So she runs off, and then he's forced to make the decision. Once again, his future on a platter. He could be a big sports star, but he gives it up. This time he gives the ball to his son. They're like, traveling? Technically, yes. It's also out of bounds because he's left. No. But he does it again. And the acting in this, all right? Zac Efron, really good. Leslie Mann is Leslie Mann, but she's all right. She's doing good. The kids are fine. I liked Thomas Lennon in this. He has sort of a side relationship with the principal. Could give or take that, but it's okay. But Matthew Perry, he's only in it for like maybe 5-10 minutes of screen time total in this movie. But you see him at the beginning of the movie, and the way he's acting might just be Matthew Perry, but he can tell that he's the guy. He's hit rock bottom. He's living with his best friend. He's forced to live with his best friend, who's all nerd and everything. He wants to move forward with his job, but the guy in charge gives it to the hot chick because she's the hot chick and not him, even though he's been there for like 10 years or so. Maybe more. 10 years plus. She gets it because of her ass, basically. And you might say, oh, that's sexist, but watch the scene. He's checking her out as she leaves. That's why she got the job. And then his job's on the rocks. His relationship's on the rocks. His family life is on the rocks. His kids want nothing to do with him. And then he becomes Zac Efron. But then when he turns back, there's this small little performance where he, I never stop loving you and all that thing. He's really good for the short time he's in here. Far from Chandler being like, could I be any more 17? I mean, yes, it'd be funny if they had Zac Efron act like a young, because if you look at him, he doesn't act like a young Matthew Perry, but you know, the whole thing. But yeah, this movie is good. It's really good. There's some good music, like when in the 80s at the beginning, there's some good music there. I like it. I like it. I do want to point out something because after the whole thing, he turns 17, he goes back to the high school looking for the janitor. He finds the lady janitor. He goes, no. The other janitor. I'm the only janitor. No, I was here last night talking to the other janitor. He had like a mustache. And we're looking at this picture of me. She's like, well, that can't be you. That's from 1989. And I'm like, but he looks just like he does in the picture. Even Scarlett points that out. How does no one else, though, see this? She sees this. But no one else. It's the same coach, and the coach doesn't point it out. Like, when he... I don't know. Although, I have a feeling maybe there was a deleted subplot where he knows. Because, when it's time for the big game, he says, the scouts are here again. Why would he say that to him unless he knew it was him? So maybe there was a deleted subplot where he was supposed to tell the coach, or the coach found out and he deleted it. I don't know. It's just very weird how he says that because the scouts weren't there anymore except for the beginning thing. So he's like, oh, scouts are here again. But, huh? I don't know. It's very confusing. But this movie is really good. I'd have to say when it comes to 17 again, it's pretty good. So, what are your thoughts on 17 again when it comes to those? Like, share, and subscribe. We are on to the next one. Box. Alright. Here's the Statham collection. I believe it was War, Jason Statham and Jet Li. I believe. I have to look at my notebook. I don't know if I wrote down or not. Maybe, I don't know. I also have to see what number this is. Oh. It's 8:30, so Central Time. Before I go, I'll give an announcement. 2 days from when you're watching this video, this will come out on Saturday the 30th. All right? And then you'll have War tomorrow, hopefully. And I'm taking another break because after that will be theme week. And I've been trying to figure out, I have like an 80s week on hold, which may be the one for September. I don't know. But I came up with this one just looking around. What do Tenacious D, King Kong, School of Rock, Saving Silverman, Tropic Thunder, Shallow Hal, and Nacho Libre have in common? If you said they're all movies, then you're correct. But if you also said Jack Black, you're also correct. That's right. The beginning of August, first week of August, actual first week of August, because he starts the 1st is that Monday. So it's really weird. We're actually starting right away, beginning of the month. So it's Jack Black week. I decided, let's do this. I was going to do a pick 10 Jack Black, but I have 7. I think the toughest one to try to get through is King Kong because it's a long-ass motherfucker, man. But, I don't know. It may be the last one I do. I don't know. And this is going to be interesting because I don't have any of these on digital. Although I can always look and see if there is any. Just search. But this is something I want to do for a long time. I'm a big fan of Jack Black. If I have to point it out, Nacho Libre, Shallow Hal, and School of Rock are probably in the top, followed by Tenacious D and Tropic Thunder. I haven't seen the King Kong, and Saving Silverman is fine. He's not like a big star, but, and I'm sorry, but I know this is in the movie, but when I see Steve Zahn like that, it looks like Strange Wilderness. I don't know. But there you go. Jack Black week. Coming soon. So, thank you for watching. I've been Scotty, and I'll see you in the next one.